good evening, and welcome along to the show, and what a show it's going to be tonight. My first guest is somebody who's always welcome on Robin Elliott Tonight. We loved her on Gogglebox. We loved her when she was the Queen of the Jungle on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. We are, of course, talking about the lovely SCARLETT MOFFATT, and she's joining us today to talk about another great debate that's currently happening in homes all around the UK, talking about the most debated homeware topics. Let's take a look at the new research. SCARLETT joins us now. How are you today?
Oh, I'm brilliant, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Lovely to see you. So talk us through this new research. What have we learned then?
Yes, so HomeSense conducted some research, and I'm pleased to say that me and my husband-to-be are not the only people I have, shall we say, friendly debates around the house. Nearly half of us admit that we like a little debate about things like how many cushions are too many cushions, what volume should things be on the TV. This is my pet hate. I will load the dishwasher and then Scott will reload the dishwasher because apparently I'm doing it incorrectly. So yeah, little things like that.
Now, I've heard a lot about this dishwasher debate, and I just can't get my head around it because I just throw everything into the dishwasher.
Thank you. Amen to that, because that's what I do.
Now, Mrs. E, she takes things one step further. I caught her the other night washing the dishes before putting them into the dishwasher. What the hell is all that about?
You may as well get rid of your dishwasher.
Exactly.
What's the point of having it if you've got to pre-wash them? You're on this one, honestly. And then the other day, right, it's getting autumn. I get very excited about being autumnal.
Yeah.
And so I bought some pumpkin cushions, some throws for the bed, and I was very excited to show Scott. And yes, there was 8 cushions on the bed, and some might think that's excessive. I personally think it makes a house a home. And he walked in and just started laughing and went, well, what's the point of that? And I said, well, because it looks nice. It creates an ambience. And he went, no, because now when I get into bed, it's going to take me longer because I've got to take 2 throws off and 8 cushions.
Now, I'm with him on that one.
No.
Because I hate coming into bed at night and having to lift all the cushions off the bed. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, but if we didn't have like textures and all that in the home, it would be barren.
And it is only us that sees the bedroom. We don't bring our friends and family round to the house to bring them up to the bedroom and say, have a look at our lovely cushion display, do we?
I mean, this is very true, actually. But it brings me joy. This is what I say to Scott. Is it hurting anything if it brings me joy? I go to work and I would like to spend my money on autumnal cushions and pumpkin spice candles, and it just makes my life a little bit more joyful.
Let's take a look at some of the other things in this research then. We've learned that 71% of us admit to switching off the big lights after somebody else switches them on. I presume by big lights, they mean the lights in the ceiling.
The main lights in your room knock me ill. They make me feel physically sick, right? In fact, the other night, Strictly started. I was so excited to watch it. I put my little candle on. I put the soft warm lamp. Jude was in bed asleep. Scott came in from work. Boom, boom, big light on. Killed the vibe instantly.
Now, is there any more reality TV coming up for you in the future?
I've just filmed a documentary for Channel 4 called 10 Days to 10K, where me and a little crew are trying side hustles to try and make as much money as possible. We've got to make that dough for these cushions. Do you know what I mean? We've got to somehow make the money. Life's expensive. And I have been filming some stuff, but you know what it's like. I'm not allowed to talk about it, but I wish I could.
And are you going back into the jungle?
Can neither confirm nor deny is what PR tells me to say.
Well, we would love to see you back in the jungle. Has it been about 9 or 10 years from the last time?
10 years?
Wow.
I know, that's crazy, isn't it? I still feel like a kid though. Do you know what I mean? I feel like no time has passed at all.
Now, you never seem to age. You always look exactly the same. So what's your secret?
Thank you so much. Do you know what? Someone asked me a couple of months ago if I got Botox, and I was like, no, but I'm thinking about getting it. But I keep getting compliments about looking youthful, so I don't think I'm gonna get any yet. But maybe it's just skincare. I love skincare.
Well, come back and see us soon. SCARLETT, as always, lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Sorry I could talk a donkey's legs off me.
Thank you. Right, let's see what Kim Kelly's up to this week. It's nearly that time of year for the Sound of Belfast Music Festival and the Northern Ireland Music Prize. And we sent Kim Kelly along to the Oh Yeah Music Centre to find out more.
Well, we've got a treat of live music coming up in Belfast over the next few weeks. It's the Sounds of Belfast Festival, and I'm here with CEO of the Oh Yeah Centre in Belfast. It's Charlotte Dryden. Now, Charlotte, we have an absolute treat coming up. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, Sound of Belfast is a festival celebrating the music of the city.
Of which there is so much.
It's so diverse, and it's 10 packed days of music of all genres, as many genres as we can fit in, basically.
Yes.
Across lots of different venues around the city. It's all about turning the spotlight up on local music and kind of celebrating what we've got, which is a really strong music scene.
We really do have a very strong music scene. We really are like punching above our weight. What are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, God, there is a lot this year. I don't know if you've heard of Winnie Amma. Winnie Amma is this fantastic singer-songwriter from Belfast. So Winnie Amma is launching her album here, and it's her debut. It's you know, it's a really slick, polished disco soul record. It's
disco
so
soul, right.
good. I hope she doesn't mind me calling it that. That's kind of how I see
That's
it.
how you say it, yes.
Soul, disco, good vibes. Lots of groove, lots of energy.
She's absolutely stunning, isn't she?
And she's brilliant.
Beautiful woman.
An absolute sweetheart. So she's launching her album here on the 7th, which is beautiful. Sorry, 6th. And then another event I'm looking forward to is we're doing a night for Otley Patterson. I mean, I think a lot of people will know that there's been a renewed interest in Otley's life. Otley was a jazz singer from Comber.
I know, it's not such a dichotomy, a jazz singer from Comber.
I know, in the 60s. And she worked with Chris Barber. And there's been a kind of a renewed interest in her over the last maybe 5 years or so. So on the 7th of November at the MAC, Dana Masters, Siobhan Brown, Winnie Amma and Suzanne Savage are going to take to the stage to do Otley's music, but also some of their own music. And just basically show people how she's influenced a whole generations coming after. So that's going to be really, really special, I think. And the MAC is a great stage.
The MAC's a beautiful venue, isn't it? We're so lucky in Belfast. We have so many fantastic venues.
We really do, you know. And I mean, we've got events at the Duncairn. I mean, I don't know if you've heard of True. They're like an Irish folk trad band, absolutely amazing. So they're playing at the Duncairn. Stuart Bailey.
Yes, I wanted to talk to you about Stuart Bailey and the interview that he's going to do. With Tim Wheeler from Ash.
That's right. So Stuart is marking 40 years as a music journalist and being in the industry this year by bringing out a new book about, and it's a book of stories of his life
Anecdotes
as a
of
music
things that have
journalist, and
happened,
I
yeah.
think it's going to be really hilarious, and it will be, of course, brilliantly written because it is Stuart.
Yes, it'll be very
but
stylish.
it's the song is nearly over. Music Stories 85 to 25. So
Yes.
and he will be in conversation with Tim Wheeler.
And that's going to be interesting.
I know. So Stuart Bailey is a journalist, but what he's done is he's flipped it, and Tim is going to interview Stuart.
Which is so interesting because you see, whenever I'm not used to people asking me questions, so
Yeah.
I find it a bit. So it'll be interesting to see Tim
Yeah.
asking him these questions, and of course Tim's not here so much. Obviously, he lives in New York. Where it'll be nice to see him back at home, won't it?
It will be great to see him home, and he wrote the song "Oh Yeah," and "Oh Yeah" is named after the song.
Yes.
The gig is in the Deer's Head. I couldn't think of a better place for it to be. It just couldn't happen here because we had the Winniama gig is happening as well. So
Yes.
we're going to hopefully be able to make both. But I would urge
you can
anybody
always make
to
both.
try and get to both. But it's going to be
Yes.
a really, really lovely evening, and another great book from Stuart as well, because obviously he's written quite a few now.
Will there be any dance music? Is
Yeah,
dance
so we've
represented?
got, so there is a couple of events happening at Bullet. Venus Rising is running a couple of nights in Bullet with, they have got Cook, which is from Ninja Tune, and Ryan Vale, who is an amazing artist who actually won the Northern Ireland Music Prize a few years ago with the album Borders.
Yes.
So they're doing a night. Timmy Stewart's doing a night in here.
Right.
From the
Oh,
Night
brilliant.
Institute.
Yep.
That's going to be a really good night. Yeah, there's a good bit of electronic in this year, and I should say shout out to our creative producer this year, which is Claire Hall, who has brought that kind of energy and that kind of experience to this year's festival. So she's been curating a lot of the events. So you're going to see a lot more of electronic stuff this year.
Fantastic, yes, because Belfast does have a very strong culture of
amazing.
that too.
It does,
That's
yeah.
brilliant. Now, tell us about the music prize at the end of this.
Yep, so the Music Prize is kind of like the flagship event during Sound of Belfast. It's on the 12th of November at the Ulster Hall, and it's a night to celebrate, the
Homegrown
music,
talent.
Homegrown talent, the music of the North. 12 months of great records, great performances, singles and live shows.
And it's so much more diverse than, of course, it was in years gone past, with so many people making Northern Ireland, the north of Ireland, their home.
Yeah.
It's wonderful that we have all these different vibes
amazing.
here now. It is amazing, because you and I are obviously the same kind of age, and we grew up in a very different Northern
place.
Ireland.
Yep.
And it's wonderful to see different traditions being brought in.
It really is. And, for a small place, we definitely have got the capacity to showcase more, a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, it's really amazing to see, and I know an awful lot of people will be trying to get tickets. Where do we get tickets?
So tickets can be got from the Waterfront Hall website.
What about the OES Centre website?
Yeah, so for tickets to any of the events, it's soundofbelfast.com. And there's tons of other stuff there.
Fantastic.
There's also like talks and panels and some youth events as well for younger people.
Oh, that's
so,
really good. Yes, the youth events are well worth signing up to. Yes,
and always
they
very
really
busy,
are.
so,
If you've got a child who's interested in the arts, that is absolutely fantastic. Interested in music, fantastic. So we'll wrap it up just as the piano's starting. He's starting to drum. He's starting to drum as well,
so.
and that's fantastic, because that's what it's all about. Thank you so much, Charlotte Dryden.
Thank you.
Okay, my next guest has appeared on the show many times over the past 21 years. He's back with a brand new album called A Long, Long Way. And he's also got a whole lot of tour dates coming up as well. As Anthony Toner. How are you, sir?
21 years?
21 years this show's been going. And I dread to think how many times you've been on in 21 years, but it's been a lot.
It's been a lot, yeah.
Hasn't it? Yeah.
And it keeps changing, but it always looks so great,
We got there in the end. I asked for a desk 21 years ago. And
Really?
I finally got the desk. And I finally got the window.
You just can't get the joiners these days. No, it looks lovely. It's really nice.
The last 21 years for you as well. I've been a busy 21 years.
It has. It's been the feeling that the ball starts to roll, and all you do then for 20 years is just keep moving it forward, keep putting things out, keep doing the gigs, keep putting stuff up, and I'm still loving it.
Yeah.
I'm creaking a bit of the joints and stuff, but I'm still loving it.
Of course, I remember you from your life before that, when you were a journalist.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and then you made the decision then. Was it a big step, saying I'm going to say goodbye to journalism and do the music full time?
It was funny. I was working in local weekly newspapers, and I didn't see much prospect for me kind of moving to Belfast or Dublin and doing kind of daily papers and stuff like that. And I didn't know if I wanted to stay in that world. I think I was kind of worried about what social media was going to do to those kind of papers. So I decided to make a move, and I worked in arts management for a time at Flowerfield Arts Centre.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, to be honest with you, after Sailortown happened, and I started to get a lot of airplay with that, and people were asking me to do gigs. It took me a while, but I finally went kind of full time with music, and that has now been about 13 years, I suppose, you know,
wow.
which is incredible to think that amount of time has gone by.
13 years, and I think 11 albums as well, am I right?
Yeah, it might be more than that now. I've stopped counting, It's the next one, you know.
Tell us about the new album then, Long, Long Way. What can we expect from this?
This is the first new songs in over 2 years. Okay. We had a family emergency. My mother-in-law, lovely Julia, became ill when she was staying with us over Christmas, and she eventually passed away. And I think during all of that time, creatively, I just kind of shut down. Every time I picked the guitar up, there was like a voice in my head saying, there must be something more important you could be doing. So I did put albums out. I did an album of cover versions. I did a little album of acoustic guitar instrumentals. So I kept busy, but I wasn't writing.
Right.
But so these are the first new songs in nearly 2 years. Wow. And there were lots of them. It was like the kind of the floodgates opened again.
Yeah. And the writing process, did you lock yourself away, or do you write on the road, or how does the process work?
It's a very strange hybrid of things, Robin. If I knew what was the way that worked, I would do that all the time.
Yeah.
But it seems to be different. For the longest time, I had a couple of lines. I was driving home from a gig, and a couple of lines that described the road and the night. And I had that, and I thought, oh, that's the start of something. And for about 6 months, that's all I had was 2 lines.
Wow.
And every time I sat down, I couldn't get any further than that.
Yeah.
And then someday you're putting the bins out, and the next 3 lines come to you, and before you know it, it happens again. And
Yes.
I can't explain it.
Yeah.
But I think you do have to not lock yourself away, but you do have to physically sit down with the guitar and an empty page and force something to happen. You can fix it later, but if you get something down to finish, at least it's a shape.
Yes,
you know?
yeah. So along with the new album as well, a load of tour dates.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
I've been really, really lucky.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of you throw your hook out into the water saying, I'm going to have a new album, I'd love to play, would you be interested? Mm-hmm. And if you send it out to 15 potential venues, you think, well, I'll get 7 or 8, you know, but nearly all of them said yes.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So that's great.
And you're still busy touring away with Barbara Dickson as well, who must be just amazing to work with.
Well, she's a total professional, a very warm, intelligent, very spirited person, very lively and very vital. And it's amazing, her voice still sounds exactly like it is. I do get the goosebumps, because I was a fan.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when January, February, and Caravans and stuff like that.
I love Caravan.
What a song, you know. I remember watching those on Top of the Pops and going, she's great, and that's a great band, you know. And I do pinch myself sometimes and think, that's Barbara Dickson.
So how did you first meet then?
Well, she had come over to do some Irish dates. This is about 10 years ago. David Hull was the promoter. And she had said about bringing a support act across with her. And David said, well, you don't need to do that. I'll get you a support act here. And then you won't have to pay for a hotel all the time, you know. Yeah. So the story I heard was that he had sent 3 videos of local artists to Barbara and said, here are 3 people that I would suggest.
Yeah.
And Barbara said, that guy. I like his voice, I like his guitar playing, see if you could get him.
Yeah.
And I never found out who the other 2 were. I'm kind of glad I didn't, you know. But yeah, then I did that Irish tour, and by the end of the tour, we were getting on well enough that she said, if we were doing dates in England, would you consider flying over and joining us? And I said, yeah, and that's been 10 years now.
And do you enjoy life on the road?
I didn't think I would, but I really do. And it's not, we're not staying at the Hilton, we're staying in Premier Inns, and we're grabbing a sandwich on the motorway and all that. But it's a really nice bunch of people. There's about 5 of us, Barbara and her husband and the keyboard player Nick and the sound guy David, and we all fit into a van with all our gear in the back. It's like Scooby-Doo, Brilliant. Off we go. I'm
asking all the musicians this, is there one thing that you have to take with you on tour that you couldn't live without on the road?
That's a really good question. That is a good question. Something to read.
Yeah?
Yeah, the M6 is a long haul, you know.
Yeah.
So if you're in the back and You know, or a little earbud so you can put on some music and chill out for a while.
Yeah.
Because I think if you just look out the windows for a 4.5 hour drive, you'll go bananas. You get up the next morning and do it in reverse.
Exactly,
you know,
yes.
on the other side of that road, you know.
Brilliant. Well, you've got the guitar there. Will you do one from the new album?
I will. This is a song inspired by a kind of period that I was going through where I seemed to be surrounded by people who were really quite ill, and I was kind of saying this phrase over and over again. So it's called Tell Him I Was Asking for Him. Well, I hear he's been struggling, weaker by the day, and I wanna get a message through, but what can I say? I don't wanna send an email or a get well card. Who knew something so simple could be so hard? So I don't wanna post any comments, I don't wanna like or share. I just wanna throw my arms around him when I see him standing there. Tell him I was asking for him. Tell him I was asking for him. We had so many slow mornings and so many big nights. We disobeyed our mother's warnings and all the good advice. And there's a time for drinking and a time for having fun. Now it looks like there's another time when nothing can be done. No, I don't wanna post any comments, I don't wanna like or share. I just wanna throw my arms around him when I see him standing there. Tell him I was asking for him. Tell him I was asking for him. We were together coming through the fire. We crossed the raging sea. Maybe that is all there is to know about him and me. So I don't wanna post any comments, I don't wanna like or share. I just wanna throw my arms around him when I see him standing there. Tell him I was asking for him. Tell him I was asking for him. Oh, tell him I was asking for him.
Brilliant. That's from the brand new album, which is out now.
Thank you. It is indeed.
And then, of course, you're on the road. I know you're touring at the moment as well, but you're also going to be in the Armagh Marketplace Theatre on the 7th of November, Downpatrick on the 8th of November, the Ards Arts Centre, 21st of November. That one's sold out already. Yeah. You're in Warren Point in the Town Hall, 6th of December. 10th of December, Linenhall Library in Belfast. 13th of December in Ballachy. 18th of December, Sunflower Club in Belfast. And then next year, you're in the Portaferry Portico as well in February. So there's...
And I'll see if I can get any more in.
Yeah, you can. You've done every venue there is in Northern Ireland by the time Christmas comes.
Yeah, well, this is what we have to do now, you know.
Yeah, brilliant.
I mean, I think, you know, the whole thing with streaming has been great. Our music is discoverable with the same mouse click that it takes to discover Ed Sheeran and Bruce Springsteen or whatever. But because because of the way that doesn't generate income, the way to do it for me now is just to go out and play live.
Yeah.
And thankfully I still really enjoy that.
There's one song you never get away from.
Well,
and
of
that's
course.
Sailor Town, of course.
Well,
And I always ask for it.
I know you do. And when I was coming in, I thought to myself, it would be a sin not to do it, you know, for all the people who have played it and all the people who have liked it, and for you who have always been so supportive. And I know it's a favourite of yours.
It is, and it always makes me think of the late great Jerry Anderson, who was very supportive of that song.
Oh yeah, he was tremendous and very, very sorely missed. I mean, absolutely irreplaceable. And just before we started, we were talking about John Prine,
Yes,
and this song is kind of almost built on a John Prine kind of style. So I think about him. I think about him and Jerry a lot. They're two people who were complete one-offs, you know. So
what about Elaine? Am I ever going to meet Elaine one day?
Elaine is organising a comeback, I think. You know, I didn't know what to say there. You know, yeah. The fictional Elaine, you know, there was it that the people in the song were based on real people, and they came and spoke to me.
Yeah.
About years later, I was down the Rotterdam, and they said, "Yeah, we were there the night you were there with a blues band, so it must have been us."
Yeah.
But I didn't know which one of them was Elaine, you know. So.
Well, we got to do it. We got to do the song now. Will you do it for me?
Of course I will. Of course I will. Thanks
brilliant.
again, Robin, and I love your desk.
Thank you.
So.
I love my desk.
Me and Elaine, we've been hanging around in what was once Sailor Town, drinking cheap red wine by the light of the Belfast moon. There's nobody left here that works at the docks. It's all urban renewal and apartment blocks. Summer is fading, winter will be coming soon. The walls in the city have a lot to say about the UVF and the IRA. It's cold by the river, but the sky is full of stars. But these walls say nothing about who I am when I'm singing in the garden at the Rotterdam, doing Brown-Eyed Girl and whiskey in the jar. And I know they're tearing it down street by street. Look out below, there goes the ground beneath your feet. Elaine's mother thinks I'm some kind of crook. She meets me at the door with a dirty look. My welcome round there's starting to wear thin. 'Cause I promised everybody I would knuckle down, but my grades weren't good enough this time round. All my time runs out in the end. And I know they're tearing it down street by street. Look out below, there goes the ground beneath your feet. Me, I can't wait to be rid of school, but Elaine's got a place at Liverpool. By the time September comes, she'll be gone. She says she'll text me every day, but that's something she feels she has to say. She'll call me once at Christmas, then move on. Me and Elaine, we've been hanging around in what was once Sailor Town.
Still sounds great.
That's for you, Robin.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Good to see you as
Andrew,
always.
thanks
Thank
a
you
million
so
for your
much for
support.
coming in.